Before we get into it, guys, summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game more exciting. You're already following the action, so why not make it a little bit more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are out getting sunburned at the beach. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. If you're new to FanDuel, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Just open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started.
All right, guys. So I actually saw this article like 2 days ago, and I talked about it a little on my podcast yesterday, and I'm glad we have it in the rundown today because I thought it was interesting. ESPN, I think Seth Walder, double check to make sure I'm right about that, Anthony, please.
Yes, Seth
is the
Walder.
name of the writer, right? So Seth Walder of ESPN went through every team and graded their offseason based on his opinion. He's an analytics-based writer, so keep that in mind. He gave the Browns a B+ for their offseason grade, which was, I believe, a 7-way tie for 5th place in terms of best offseasons. The biggest move, he said, was trading down from 2 to 5. The move he liked the most was the same move, trading down from 2 to 5. The move he disliked the most, signing Myles Garrett to an extension. And then he gave him a B+. You could see the whole thing there. He thought he likes that the Browns are kind of starting over, building up draft picks. He thought they should have traded Myles Garrett to get more draft capital because he doesn't think they're going to be good in the next year or two. He liked the smaller moves, the two offensive linemen the Browns signed, Tevin Jenkins and Cornelius Griffin. Cornelius Lucas.
Ain't it Luke? I think it's Lucas.
I think you're right. And then who they signed at D-tackle?
Malik Collins. He's going to be a player.
There you go.
He
liked those moves too.
That's my dark horse, guy that I think is going to be really good.
Is he going to start?
Yeah. I think he is.
I don't like it.
Why? He and Graham start together, no?
No. Where's Mike Hall Jr.?
Oh yeah, right.
Is Mike Hall? Was he practicing for OTA?
You rotate guys.
Yeah,
Graham, Hall.
He'll get some minutes.
So what do you guys think? Do you agree with a B+ grade? Do you agree with his analysis?
No.
Is it better, worse? What do you got?
I mean, he didn't address the two positions that was of major concern last year. Like all of these things that he did was all about the defense, but you still ranked 32nd in offense last year. You didn't get not one receiver. I guess you could count Deontay Johnson if you want to count that. You didn't address the quarterback situation. You had an opportunity to get somebody in the first 2 rounds, and you decided to punt that.
Well, they did draft 2 quarterbacks later.
Yeah, they did, and then we got Aditi saying that they're not ready, so.
Not uncommon for a rookie quarterback to be not ready.
The way she put it yesterday, she made it seem like we probably won't see them. So then if that's the case, if they're not going to be
at all?
She was saying they're not ready.
For week 1?
No,
how many rookie quarterbacks are truly ready to play week 1 in the NFL?
She made it seem like it's going to be a while, and my whole thought was if we don't see him,
right?
What we gonna do next year?
Well, then next year they'll probably draft a quarterback if they have that opportunity.
But that's
okay. So you're not buying a B+.
No.
What is your grade?
C-.
Okay. Unusually harsh. You're usually pretty kind to the Browns. That's pretty harsh.
I try to keep it real.
I like that.
Try to keep it real.
This boils down to, all right, what are you going to do? I think a big part of what you do in terms of who's playing, people say, you kind of want all these young dudes to start. Well, look, you can squint and put it in the B range if you say, okay, Judkins is a starter. Fannon's pretty much going to play starter minutes. Dylan Sampson is about to get rid of Jerome Ford.
Bombi.
And one of these 2 rookies is going to start by week 6.
What are you talking about?
If that happens, I'll give their grade a B+.
Oh, okay.
Or B somewhere in there. But if they come, I'm like Tyvis. There's a sliding grade with this, right? There's a slide. We grade on the curve.
Yeah.
If you got all these people and you don't play them, or you don't nobody looks like a stud, or you give them 3 or 4 carries and you're still trying to rotate these guys that helped you get to 3 and 14, then by no means stretch of imagination you're gonna get a B. You're looking at a C right now, C minus, if you think about it, because you still have not addressed what you need to address. You let Nick Chubb walk, could be a problem. The only thing that puts it at a B plus is you did get Myles Garrett. Come on now, I think people, for me, people always assume that you're going to just be able to replace and find people. When you say Myles Garrett, they should have started over. There are certain people you don't. It's like saying we lost LeBron, we're starting over. No, you don't lose generational players and then start over. Myles Garrett is the best defensive player in the game. Why would you say we could start over? Like,
it wasn't that simple to trade him either because of the dead cap hit. Like, it was complicated. Now, if the Browns end up sucking through the prime of his career, then yeah, I guess you could have said he should have been traded. But if they turn it around, say, 2 years from now, well, he's still going to be, I would think, at the top of his game. So then it was smart not to trade him.
You need something to watch.
The only beef I have with in the end, the only beef or beef is a little strong. The only thing I think the Browns did wrong when it comes to the Myles Garrett thing is give him that no trade clause. That was a mistake because he had no leverage. What, was he not going to sign that contract if they didn't give it to him? And you want to have the flexibility if you need to down the line to be able to trade him.
I looked at it like this. Yeah. So if you come at it from this perspective, the most popular people on the team are Nick Chubb, Myles Garrett, right? It looks like they didn't even offer Nick Chubb no money. It's like, you're gone. And then Myles Garrett walks.
Yeah.
You know how easy it is that if you get off to a bad start, people's like, oh, y'all got to go. Because that's still in the pantheon, and you're still getting over all the emotional stuff. Plus, that's 2 years in a row. Like, you look like you're gonna be terrible. You need somebody to watch. You watch while you bad. Now, I'm gonna say this, and this is the elephant in the room. Only way you get a B plus is if you find one of these rookies that's gonna start.
Yeah,
that's the only way you get it off.
Stunningly, I'm not as low on the offseason as you guys are. I have a B for them. And you guys make a lot of fair points. I really, I guess I should have. It's a good point. I didn't really take into account, okay, they didn't definitely get a quarterback because I don't think they had better options than what they did. So, if you would have told, before the draft, if we would have all said they drafted Shedeur Sanders at 2, we would have all been fine with that, right? And in the end, they got him. So, I don't know, like, who were the better options for them to get a quarterback?
This is why it's so frustrating when people want to just keep acting like Shedeur Sanders is a legit 5th round pick. They just really want to act like, oh, he was 5th round because he don't have an arm, he can't throw the ball, he can't do any of that. No, he was a 5th round pick because people's like, I don't want to answer questions about Shedeur, or I don't want to have to put him in a rotation and everybody clamors for him. I don't want the headache of it. But the fact that
where do you if let's say he was the exact same player and his name was Joe Schmo, where would he have been drafted?
I don't care if his name was
worst second.
I don't care if his name was Milton Bradley.
Where do you think he would have been drafted?
It's worst second round. At worst,
I believe he would have been drafted in the second round.
At worst, second round. But I think I do believe that after talking to Aditi yesterday, I do believe that, and just listening to people talk about him, period, is everybody is making this assumption that what he did at Colorado as far as terminology and all those things isn't translating for whatever reason to the NFL.
Who told you that?
This is what they saying.
This
is what the streets is telling
me. You
know I keep my ear to the streets.
But in the streets, they say half of what you see and none of what you hear. Who told? I need to know.
This is what the streets is saying. They saying that. They saying he's struggling with some terminology. He's struggling to get some concepts down.
Well, she didn't say that.
And a lot of people are saying, she said it was both of them, both rookies.
I don't know that she had specific information or it was just an assumption that guys that are rookies are going to struggle initially. I don't know that she was saying it as if she had inside info.
What she said was, we got to stop talking about what we see in with no pads and against some 4-string guys that's probably going to be working at, I forget what store after this in a couple of months.
7-Eleven.
Yeah, 7-Eleven. That's what she said. So when I heard that, the only person that she could have possibly been talking about is number 12 because everybody else takes reps with the ones.
That's true.
And here, so like I already told you what game we not gonna play. I'm not gonna play the game all year. We're not gonna do it. The game of he's not ready. Let's hold him back. He's not ready. You don't want to crush his soul.
To be fair, she said neither one of them.
I'm not specifically talking about.
She said neither one of them was ready, and she said if you throw them out there early, it will mess up their growth.
I'm talking about both of them.
Which I agree with that.
I'm talking about both of them. Here's what I didn't live here way too long. I've been watching the Browns for 40 some odd years. Listen. Yes, you want to be cautious, right? The crazy part about this is the part I did catch is she said, well, she was perturbed about the situation where Kenny Pickett give him an opportunity, right? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I think that's fair if you want to say give him an opportunity, but other people are saying, why are you going to say that? But on the other hand, people can't even give Shedeur Sanders first team reps with jerseys on.
That's exactly what I said.
So my thought process is
that's not an apples to apples.
Why not?
She was saying that the situation for Pickett in Pittsburgh was a terrible situation.
I agree.
I don't think she was speaking on the situation here yet. We may look back and say the same thing for Shedeur Sanders, but we don't know that yet.
No, what I'm saying is her premise was there was a certain amount of things that went wrong in Pittsburgh. Yeah. But let's not close the door on him being a player. Right. Just give him opportunity, right?
Right.
And so a lot of people are saying, listen, there were a lot of things around Shedeur Sanders. Okay, you drafted in the 5th round, but give him the opportunity to see what he can do with the ones.
But who's saying he shouldn't get an opportunity?
We saying he should.
Right. I don't think she was saying he shouldn't get an opportunity.
No, she wasn't saying he shouldn't get an opportunity. She was saying that right now she don't feel like he's ready. Now, our thing is saying we talking about just practice.
It's practice.
Right. I just want to see it in practice.
I mean, listen, and Didi doesn't need me to defend her, but I'm just saying she wasn't saying that Shedeur Sanders shouldn't get reps with the ones.
No, she never said that
at all. She just said both rookie quarterbacks are not ready to start in the league, and that's probably true.
A fact. This one, but I want to just clarify. This one specifically about Aditi.
Yeah. Oh,
okay. It's not this is what I'm speaking is at a 30,000-foot type look. The vantage point is like this. Okay, you drafted him in the 3rd and the 5th, right? You got the 2 quarterbacks. Now, what regular people are looking at is this: you passed on Travis Hunter. Okay, you got another pick for next year.
Yeah.
You got Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round because you said you liked him. Shedeur was a 2nd round talent. People think he got a lot of talent. You got him. But it seems like people are so reluctant to even give these people an opportunity to show what they can do because they want to fast forward this year to get to next year. We know that.
Are you talking about Stefanski?
No, I'm talking about in general people, the media and people in general, certain fans.
Right.
So it's okay, I get that you don't want to ruin them. I get that you don't want to put them in there too fast, but I'm not going to be sitting here watching Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco for 16 games. And then you say, oh, well, next year, there's a guy we like, so we're going to take that guy. Fast forward this year, you don't see what Dylan Gabriel can do. You don't see what Shedeur Sanders can do. And for a team that's 3-14, you don't have the luxury of wasting draft picks. If you did not like these two, if you don't think that they can play, don't draft them.
I agree.
But that's also fair. I agree with that. Also, what random people saying, even media members, it doesn't play a factor in what the Browns are going to do.
No, don't.
We don't we don't know for sure the Browns are going to draft a quarterback next year. We don't even know where they'll be drafting. All this talk about maybe they'll have 2 high picks. Well, what if the Browns end up winning? Not even getting crazy. What if the Browns end up winning 7 games?
Oh, I'm crazy.
Oh yeah.
That would be the optimum thing.
And then let's say Jacksonville. Would it shock you if Jacksonville had a decent season? It would not shock me.
No.
I mean, they could stink, but they could also be decent.
8 games is crazy. 8 wins for the Browns is crazy.
I mean, that's overly optimistic. I don't want to call you crazy because I love you, but I'm not. But what I'm saying is, if the Browns end up with the 8th and the 14th pick, well, they're not getting a quarterback anyway. So what's the difference?
That's my point.
That's why we listen. I get that you guys may be a little here.
If that happens, then we'll be right back where we are right now.
Let me just
unless the rookies are part of the reason
we
why
wouldn't
you got
know
that.
because they're not going to play him.
But I don't believe they're not going to play. I don't believe that.
Here's the thesis. Here's what's happening. And I'm going to just keep it real. This is the first time I said this. I should have said it. You know what? I should have said it before, but I'm going to say it now. People are so hurt and devastated by the last two quarterbacks that they refuse to even go down the path of trying to figure out who is who and what's what.
You referring to Baker and Deshaun?
Yes. The Baker and Deshaun Watson thing that messed people's mind up so much that now they're they just want something safe and what they know. Mm-hmm. If you ask about Pickett and Flacco, the first thing you say is veterans, they know what to do, they can call plays in the huddle, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? If that's the only thing the quarterback can do, you're in trouble. Call plays in the huddle and make you feel good about being 3 and something? No, that's not what you have to. Guys, yes, you missed on Deshaun Watson. You missed. A lot of people liked him. You paid draft picks for him. Yes, people think Baker Mayfield is balling now, and a lot of people are upset that he didn't get his money off here. Well, guess what? If you missed on those two guys, you still have to roll the dice. You still to go through. And they did.
They got Dylan Gabriel in the third round. They decided to punt on Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, all these other quarterbacks because they thought,
well, play him.
Dylan Gabriel is their guy.
Play him.
Well,
am I wrong to think? Remember, we sat here before and was like, we want them to get whoever they believe in.
Yes, you're right.
Dylan Gabriel is the guy.
And I think we all agree to play him, but I don't think we have to play him week 1.
No, I'm not. None of them should play week 1.
That's not what we were saying.
In a perfect world, the Browns pull off a miracle. Joe Flacco starts. He plays like a superstar, and they win the Super Bowl. But in the realistic perfect world, you decide who the starter is. In my opinion, it should be Flacco. But whether it's Flacco or Pickett, and then you jettison the other guy. The other veteran goes. That's what I would do. And then I decide who's more prepared to play if somebody gets hurt. Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. Not because I like one more, not because of any agendas that people have on both sides of the aisle. Who is more ready to play? And that guy is my backup week 1. Hopefully I don't have to use him in week 4 or 5. If we're not winning, or I don't even care about how Flacco's playing. If we're not winning by week 4 or 5, even if Flacco's playing well, I'm moving on.
What if it's
and
Kenny?
I'm starting the rookie.
What if it's Kenny Pickett?
Same thing. I'm not going to rush the rookie early because the starter's not playing well. Now, if you get rid of the other veteran, you might be in a situation where if the starter gets hurt, you got to do it. But I think...
Isn't that what happened with DTR?
Yes. I just think in the end, if the Browns don't play at least one and probably both of the rookies, they were very stupid in the way they drafted But again, I don't want to see that week 1. I'd like to see them in week 4 and 5.
The one narrative that I do want to get, I hate that people bring up, is what round the quarterback was drafted.
It's irrelevant at this point.
It really bothers me. Because when you sit there and defend Shedeur, some people will say, well, I mean, he's a 5th round pick. Okay, Brock Purdy was a 7th round pick. Tom Brady was a 6th round. What are you saying?
It's irrelevant.
I hate when people say that. What does that have to do with anything?
You using it as try to disqualifier of some sort with 5th round pick.
That's what they say about DTR. He was a 5th round pick. What did you expect? I don't know.
Your job
good.
Your job is to evaluate the people you have in your organization and put them in the best positions to win football games. That's what it is. It doesn't matter. Coaches tell you all the time. They say it, Tyvis, you get undrafted, rookie, wherever you at. It don't matter what you did at Ohio State or Michigan.
Right.
This is this team.
That's a fact.
Now, the truth is, the later you're drafted, the less likely you are to be a hit. But I think in this particular case, if you're being honest, it's an outlier because there were circumstances that led to him being drafted.
Yes.
And if you don't want to be drafted where he was, and if you don't want to accept that, that's fine. That's on you. Now, I think on the other hand, he was probably, all the talk about him being number 2 was not realistic because I still think no matter what you talk about off the field, if somebody thought he was a superstar, no-brainer, somebody would have taken him in the 1st round. But I believe he would have been a 2nd-round pick if he was a normal, if he wasn't Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
But you're right. In the end, it's irrelevant now. It's irrelevant.
And what we have to
what round he was drafted.
For me, the only way, Tyvis said this probably like 3 weeks ago, man. He said this, and I was like, dang. You heard somebody say something, you be like, I wish I would have said that.
Yeah.
That was fire.
What'd I say?
He was like,
I say a lot of things.
He was like,
them all.
He was like, we're not going to know anything until you put him with the ones.
Right.
And what's the worst can happen if you put him with the ones in practice?
Right.
Can you hit a quarterback?
No.
Can you? Is he gonna? If he throws an interception, is he gonna melt and cry in the huddle?
No.
If he messes up the play call in the huddle, what will coach do?
Blow the whistle and tell him, hey, time's up, delay a game.
Yeah.
All right, give you the play again. Let's just move the ball back 5 yards, run the play.
So the thing is, if you want to keep sitting him on the side where over there where he with the 4s and the 5s or whatever, and they keep using that as a thing. By the way, this is another thing we're going to debunk in real time. They don't call different plays depending on what field you are on. If he is getting reps with the 4s and the 5s over there, they are running the same plays that they learned in the classroom earlier that day. They're not learning Buffalo Bills plays or Steelers plays. So if he can call a play in the huddle over there with the 4s and 5s, he can call the same huddle with the 1s and 2s.
Yeah, I would say in the end, I think we're all a little baffled as to why he hasn't had an opportunity with the ones. In the end, if he gets that opportunity when training camp starts, then it probably
does.
And you know, and sometimes they do that. And I want to tell people, this happened. I was a freshman, and when there was 2 guys ahead of me, and the dude when I got recruited, they was like, "Oh, you're starting over there." And they was like, "Yeah, these guys are no-name gangsters." I was like, "Yeah, they ain't gonna be playing." And when we was in spring ball, coach came in and said, "Yeah, y'all, you on scout." I said, "Scout? What you talking about, dog? I'm G. Bush. What do you mean?"
Did you say you're G. Bush?
I'm G. Bush. At the time, I was pre-injury. G. Bush was different. Listen, I was talking my talk. I said, "What you talking about?" I'm on scout team. He's like, "We gotta see what you gonna do, man. You know and how it is, man. These is fourth year seniors. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even seen you in the weight room." I said, "Weight room?
Yeah.
This is natural. They can't block me."
Oh, you wasn't lifting weights?
Man, I was, but I'm not as strong as them dudes. They been there 4 or 5 years. You know how you get it. Everybody in the program that be there 4 years strong, Tyvis.
Yeah.
They do power cleaning. They doing all kind of weight. I said, I ain't doing none of them weights. I'm just nice. But sometimes you come in and they got to put you back a little bit. They got to look, we can't give you all that. And it's rightfully so. Like, they got to make it seem like, yo, you're going to have to earn this.
Yeah.
Because, look, when you're the face of the organization, you're the face of the franchise, and this is what a lot of people in Cleveland don't get. If he is that dude, he is now higher than every person in the organization. The coach, the general manager, everybody. That's what franchise quarterback means. That means I get to tell you who to sign as a receiver. I tell you who I want in the draft. I also get to tell you on third down, I'm audibling out of it. It's a lot of responsibility with that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, the reason the Bengals signed Chase and Higgins is because of what Joe Burrow said.
That's
anything Zach Taylor did.
Not at all.
Yes,
So they got to figure out your temperament. If you're going to be right under the owner, and when the Browns ain't had no quarterback, of course they got to vet you out. They got to see what you're going to do when you under pressure. Because if you fail after they call you the franchise, people get fired. So I get that. But listen, I think when you come back from the summer, them pads is on.
We can't hide it.
You can't hide it no more. You can't hide it no more because it's going to be a different speed, a different level.
You can't
hide it. It's different.
What I would say is this: the reason that I'm rooting for Shedeur is because, one, I love a great underdog story. I do. Mm-hmm. And when you watch just the things that he does, he literally has done everything right. Like, he works hard. He stays after practice. He's actually trying, to where a lot of people do it off the natural. Like, as soon as that whistle blow, boom, they jog in the locker room, take a shower, they up out of there. To where this guy's staying after, doing all the necessary stuff to even give himself a chance. And maybe it's because I've been in that same situation before that I kind of relate to it. But I just want to see, like, he's put in all this time and effort and all this hard work. At some point, it's got to pay off at some point. So I want to see what it looks like. Give him a fair chance. That's why, for me, I want to see it.
I'd like to see him succeed because I know there's a segment of the population that's salty about it. That will give me pleasure.
Petty LaBoo in his bag. You do want to zing people. You do want to zing.
Why would people be salty about it?
You know how people are.
But that doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
If you're a Browns fan and you got a quarterback that actually is good, why would you be mad about that?
Then you're not a real fan.
Tyvis.
It makes sense.
Tyvis, it's just like relationships. People come into relationships with baggage.
Yeah.
Man,
like they be
hearing
bringing
that. You leave your bag. I ain't got. Listen.
See?
Like back in the day when I was dating, I ain't your other dude. Like,
Yeah,
this is new. We got to start from fresh. Don't take none of the stuff you learned from him that he calls. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
That is easier said than done.
Right. Yeah.
Like when they start to see, because you got to think people be like, still to this day, people identify with old players because you ain't won nothing. If you never win anything, all you got to do is have bad memories. You don't like it keeps rewinding in your mind. You gotta. It's a thought is like a virus, bro. Think about it. Hey, don't think about pink elephants. Guess what you just thought about? Pink elephants.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. I seen it in your eyes.
No, I didn't.
Elephants.
What's wrong
Pink
with you?
elephants. There you go. There it is. There it is, Anthony.
At the end of the day, let me wrap this up by saying it started off talking about the roster, and then somehow we pivoted to Shedeur, which I have no idea how that happened. But when I look at just the moves that they made, to me, the way this Browns offseason went was they screamed that we are going to be a defensive first team and we want to get our run game back. If you look at just the moves that they made, that's kind of what they're saying. And if you're going back to, I guess, to Kevin Stefanski's calls, if that run game is good and that defense is working, it can work. The 2017 Jacksonville Jaguars told you that can work. So if that's what they come out and be, and they can make it all the way to the AFC Championship, and Tyvis look like a genius, then who would hate that?
It's a sliding scale. They can get up to
it wouldn't be a B+, it'd be an A.
No,
if
they find a quarterback and they find a replacement for Nick Chubb.
Blake Bortles was just okay.
A+.
Let me talk about something